Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Sue. Today we're going to make jambalaya. This is going to be an alpha-gal safe version of jambalaya, and I'm very excited to show it to you. I hope you enjoy it, and even if you're not alpha-gal sensitive, I hope you'll follow along. If you'd like to learn more about alpha-gal syndrome, I will put a link to some information in the description, as well as a link to my blog with my alpha-gal story. Okay, let's begin. Our ingredients are going to be Eckrich skinless turkey smoked sausage, some celery, some peppers, onion, shrimp, leftover chicken broth, rice, and seasonings. I don't have Cajun seasoning on hand at the moment, so I am going to kind of wing it, going to make my own as we go. It'll be fine. How hard can it be? It's going to be fine. But for that, I'm going to use ground cumin, thyme, chili powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, black pepper, garlic powder, salt, and oregano. Okay, our ingredients list didn't mention garlic, but I'm going to go ahead and put some garlic in. In case you haven't figured out, my cooking process is kind of a work it out as I go situation. In fact, when I do these videos and recipes on my blog, I cook the food just winging it as I go, and then when I type the recipe for my blog, a lot of times I'm rewatching the video to remember how I did it and eyeball those measurements, like, oh yeah, that looks like I used half a cup or a tablespoon. So when I make something, it's rarely the same twice, but whatever I'm making kind of reflects my creativity for that day and how I'm feeling. So I think that's a good thing. And a lot of times what you're making depends on what you have on hand, which is the nice thing about jambalaya. I learned to make jambalaya from my brother Dave. He will probably turn up in one of these videos at some point, but he spent quite a few years living in Louisiana and learned to make jambalaya. And one of the things that he taught me when he showed me how to make it was that jambalaya is a very common dish in Louisiana, and it's kind of a make it with what you have on hand sort of everyday go-to meal. And I love that about it, because it gives you plenty of options for substitutions. Put what you like. If you can eat meat, use andouille sausage, or if you can find an alpha-gal safe andouille sausage, which I have not been able to find, but if you can, that would be so good in this. All right, our garlic is chopped, and we are ready to head to the pans. All right, I'm using a big pot because we are going to be filling this up with all kinds of good stuff. So I'm going to put a little oil in the pot, using a little bit of olive oil. All right, my heat down to medium. Onions are going. Just real quick toss around, and then putting in the celery. And I'm going to go ahead and put the peppers in too. Just get everybody into the pool here. Don't have the garlic in there yet. I don't want to burn the garlic, so I'm going to hold off on that for just a minute. And the salt and pepper this. All right, and then I'm gonna let those cook for just a minute while I cut up the sausage. Okay, and again, this is Eckrich smoked skinless turkey sausage, which makes it safe for alpha-gal people to eat. You always want to check the label though, check those ingredients, even if you buy it all the time. Sometimes formulas can change, ingredients can change. But right now this sausage is okay for me to eat. If you can eat regular sausage, go ahead and put that in. In this, it really doesn't make all that much difference. It's perfectly fine. All right. You can cut this up as big or as small as you want. I'm not being too careful with it. I like nice big chunks of sausage. I'm going to transfer this turkey sausage to a bowl. And then I get this chicken. This is leftover chicken. And I'm just going to pull that chicken off. It's got some barbecue seasoning on there. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to keep that in there for extra flavor, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off of the bones. Get your hands right in there and do it. It's fine. It's your food anyway. You're going to be the one eating it. Okay, I'm going to pull this apart into kind of bite-sized pieces, but still nice chunks of chicken. If you are new to alpha-gal and you feel like all I've done is eat chicken day after day after day, you're going to like this because you've got the sausage, you've got the chicken, you're going to put some shrimp in there, and they have a nice variety of different meaty kind of things without actually having anything scary. Okay, a little bit of this chicken leg in there. Don't really need the skin or the gristle, but okay, I don't know about you, but I prefer to take the shells off before I cook the shrimp. And if you don't have shrimp, you don't have to put in shrimp. Put in what you have. That's the whole point of jambalaya. These are some shrimp that I just happen to have in the freezer. They're still a little bit frozen and kind of freezing my fingers off, but it won't take just a minute to get them all shelled and ready to go in. Okay, our vegetables are looking really good. Starting to get a little bit of browning on the edges. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the garlic. Garlic doesn't need very long. You really don't want to burn your garlic. You'll go from people coming upstairs and from all parts of the house to see what's cooking to people saying, "What are you burning?" Goes pretty fast. Okay. I'm going to put the sausage in. Give the sausage a little bit of time to cook and brown up as well. Look at that. That looks pretty. You know, we have always used green peppers, but I didn't have any green peppers in the refrigerator, but I did have some red and yellow peppers that I needed to use up, so those are going in. This is a use what you got meal. Oh, it's starting to smell good. Garlicky and smoky. All right, we're just going to let that have a little bit of time here. While that's simmering, I'm going to get those seasonings ready. Remember I said I was going to wing it with the seasonings. Well, here goes. I'm going to put about, maybe about a generous teaspoon or two of chili powder. A quarter teaspoon of cumin. Half teaspoon of thyme. Half teaspoon of onion powder. I'm not terribly brave, so I'm going to say just a dash of cayenne. If you like things hot, you go for it with that cayenne, but I'm going to be careful. And some oregano, which is, I have dried oregano from my garden, so that's what we're going to use here. A little paprika. So let's say about half a teaspoon of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of paprika. I don't think that was quite half a teaspoon of oregano, so I'm going back for some more on that. Then some pepper. The grinder is grinding pretty coarse, but I think that's going to be okay. Salt. Don't go crazy with the salt because the sausage is a little salty already, and the chicken that I'm using, my leftover chicken, does have some barbecue rub on it, so you want to be aware of the salt before you've gone too far. All right, that is looking pretty good. Let's talk about rice. I'm going to use jasmine rice. Some people with alpha-gal are allergic to enriched rices and enriched flours, and basically it's because the vitamins that are added in the enrichment process contain animal products. So if you are sensitive to that, you're going to want to be careful to not use enriched rice or enriched flour. This jasmine rice is not enriched. You look at the ingredients list. I'll show you here. Look at the ingredients. The ingredients are California long grain white rice. So we don't have to worry about anything scary in the rice. I'm going to add 2 cups of rice. And the trick with rice, you see all kinds of ways to cook rice, and different people make rice different ways. But one thing that doesn't change is to make good rice, you need a ratio of 2 to 1. So you need 2 parts liquid to 1 part rice. So I put in 2 cups of rice. I need to put in 4 cups of liquid. I'm going to use chicken broth. Go. Okay. Now we're going to bring that to a boil. We still have shrimp and chicken that are not in here yet. Both of those things are things that I don't necessarily want to overcook. So I'm not going to rush on those. I'm going to let this cook for a little while before I add that. I'm going to taste this just to make sure. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to bring that to a boil. We're going to add the chicken and the shrimp and cover it and let that rice cook. Okay, we're starting to get to a little bit of a boil here. I'm going to add the chicken, and I'm still holding off on the shrimp. I'm not going to put the shrimp in just yet. Okay. Rice has been cooking for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp. We just don't want to overcook the shrimp, so that's why we waited until now. Add the shrimp in here and just let them steam. And then we're just going to put the lid back on and just let it cook until the rice has absorbed all the liquid and is nice and tender. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Look at that. And we're done. We're going to have the taste test. See what Larry thinks.
Good.
All right, and that's our jambalaya. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make that. And if you do try this recipe, please let me know in the comments or on my Susan by a Thread Facebook page. Please like this video and subscribe. And if you hit that notification bell, you will be the first to know when I post a new video. Until next time, live, eat, and travel safe.